Your engine just locked up. You're doing 60 on the highway. The rear wheel stops turning, stops completely. The bike starts sliding sideways. You've got maybe 2 seconds to pull the clutch before you go down. This isn't a hypothetical. This happens. And when it does, you're looking at anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 in repairs. If you're lucky, if the engine's salvageable. Most of the time, it's not. So let's talk about why motorcycle engines seize. What's actually happening inside when the engine locks up? And more importantly, how you prevent it from ever happening to you. Because once an engine seizes, it's already too late. Reason number 1, oil starvation. This is the big one, the #1 killer of motorcycle engines. Your oil does 3 critical jobs. It lubricates moving parts, it transfers heat away from the engine, and it creates a thin film between metal surfaces so they're not grinding directly against each other. When you run out of oil, or when the oil level gets too low, that film disappears. Metal touches metal. Friction increases instantly. Heat skyrockets. The piston expands from the heat. The cylinder walls expand, but they don't expand evenly. Pretty soon, the piston can't move up and down anymore. It gets wedged in the cylinder. The engine locks. And here's the scary part. This happens fast, like really fast. A motorcycle engine without oil won't last more than 40 to 50 miles. That's it. Some bikes don't even make it that far. High-performance sport bikes pushing 14,000 RPM, maybe 20 miles if you're lucky. The friction is so intense that the aluminum piston literally starts to melt and weld itself to the steel cylinder wall. When that happens, you're not fixing it. You're replacing the entire top end. New pistons, new rings, new cylinder walls, maybe a new crankshaft if you're really unlucky. I knew a guy who bought a used CBR 600. Oil light came on during his ride home from the seller's place. He was only 10 miles from home, figured he'd just make it and deal with it tomorrow. He made it 6 miles. Engine seized on a residential street. Rear wheel locked. He went down at 30 miles per hour. Bike was totaled. He broke his wrist. The engine rebuild estimate? $4,500. The seller had been running it low on oil for who knows how long. So how does this happen? How do people run out of oil? Oil leaks are the most common culprit. You've got a slow leak from a gasket or seal, a little drip here and there. You don't notice it because it's not leaving a puddle, but over weeks and months, you're losing oil faster than you think. The clutch pushrod seal is a common failure point. Valve cover gaskets, oil pan gaskets, they start weeping. You're losing maybe a tablespoon of oil every ride. Doesn't seem like much, but after 50 rides, you're down 2 quarts. Most bikes hold between 3 and 4 quarts total. If you're down 2 quarts, you're running on fumes. And the first time you go around a hard corner or do a long wheelie, the oil pickup sucks air instead of oil. Even for just a second, that's all it takes. Boom, seized engine. Reason number 2, old degraded oil. Even if your oil level is perfect, if the oil is old and broken down, it's not doing its job anymore. Oil degrades over time. It gets contaminated with combustion byproducts. It gets thin from heat exposure. The additives that prevent foaming and maintain viscosity break down. After about 3,000 miles on conventional oil, it's pretty much done. Synthetic lasts longer, maybe 5,000 to 7,000 miles, but it still degrades. When oil gets too thin, it can't maintain the proper film thickness between moving parts. You end up with metal-on-metal contact even though you technically have oil in the engine. And here's what people don't realize. Time matters too, not just mileage. If your bike sits in the garage for 6 months without an oil change, that oil is degrading just from sitting there. Moisture gets into the crankcase, the oil oxidizes, the additives separate out. When you finally fire it up and ride, you're essentially running on bad oil. The damage starts immediately. Most manufacturers recommend oil changes every 5,000 to 8,000 miles, or once a year, whichever comes first. That second part is critical. Once a year. Even if you only rode 1,000 miles, change the oil. Reason number 3, overheating. Metal expands when it gets hot. That's basic physics. Your engine is designed to run at a specific temperature range, usually somewhere between 180 and 220 degrees Fahrenheit. When the engine overheats beyond that, parts start expanding more than they should. The piston gets bigger, the cylinder gets bigger, but they don't expand at the same rate. Eventually, the clearances get so tight that the piston can't move. It wedges in the cylinder. Engine seizes. This is especially common on air-cooled engines. Harleys, older bikes, dirt bikes, they rely on airflow to cool the engine. If you're sitting in traffic on a hot day, not moving, that engine is cooking itself. I've seen bikes overheat in traffic and start making this ticking sound. That's the piston expanding and starting to drag on the cylinder wall. Guys, ignore it. Think it's just valve noise. Keep riding. Then the engine seizes 10 minutes later. Water-cooled bikes can overheat too. Coolant leaks, radiator damage, failed water pump, blown head gasket. Any of these can cause the engine to overheat. If your temperature gauge ever gets into the red zone, shut the bike off immediately, right now. Don't try to limp it home, pull over, let it cool, figure out what's wrong. Riding with an overheating engine is asking for a seized motor. Reason number 4, rust and corrosion from sitting. If you let your bike sit for months or years without running it, moisture gets into the engine. Condensation forms inside the cylinders. The piston rings start to rust. The cylinder walls start to corrode. Rust acts like a weld. It fuses the piston to the cylinder wall. When you try to start the bike, the engine won't turn over. It's seized solid. This is fixable sometimes. You can pull the spark plugs, pour some penetrating oil into the cylinders, let it sit for a few days, and try to manually turn the engine over with a breaker bar. Sometimes it breaks free, sometimes it doesn't. The best prevention? Don't let your bike sit. Even if you're not riding it, start it up once a month. Let it run for 10 minutes. Get it up to operating temperature. Let the oil circulate. Burn off any condensation. If you're storing it for winter, fill the tank completely to prevent condensation. Add fuel stabilizer, change the oil before storage, and hook up a battery tender. Do all that, and your bike will start right up in the spring. Now let's talk prevention, because that's what actually matters. Check your oil. Every week, every single week. It takes 30 seconds. Pull the dipstick, wipe it, insert it without screwing it in, pull it back out, look at the level. If it's below the lower mark, add oil immediately. Don't wait, don't tell yourself you'll do it later, do it now. Change your oil on schedule. Set a reminder on your phone. Track your mileage. When you hit 5,000 miles or 1 year, change the oil. No excuses. It costs $40 to do it yourself, maybe $100 at a shop. That's nothing compared to a seized engine. Watch your temperature gauge. If your bike has one, glance at it occasionally. If it starts climbing higher than normal, investigate immediately. Pull over, let it cool, check your coolant level. Don't ignore warning signs. If your oil pressure light comes on, stop riding immediately. That light means you have seconds before catastrophic damage. If you hear knocking sounds from the engine, stop riding. That's metal hitting metal. Every second you keep riding is doing more damage. If you smell burning oil, stop. That could be a leak that's getting worse. Listen to your bike. Pay attention. It'll warn you before things go catastrophic, but only if you're actually listening. Here's the reality. Engine seizure is almost always preventable. It's not a mysterious failure that happens out of nowhere. It's the result of neglect, of ignoring warning signs, of putting off maintenance, of thinking it'll be fine just this once. And most of the time, it is fine, until suddenly it's not. And then you're on the side of the highway with a locked-up motor and a $5,000 repair bill. Or worse, you're sliding down the pavement at 60 miles per hour because your rear wheel just stopped turning. So, check your oil. Change your oil. Pay attention to your temperature. Don't let your bike sit for months without running it. And if something doesn't sound right, stop and figure out what's wrong. It's that simple. Do those things, and your engine will last 100,000 miles. Skip them, and you might not make it to 10,000. Your choice.